Australia is the ideal destination to enjoy a self-drive holiday, and Victoria's compact size makes it perfect for taking in mountains, coastline, vineyards and historic towns. In this video we're going on a 6-day self-drive tour through regional Victoria, taking in glorious wine-producing regions, misty mountain ranges, a historic gold mining town with a population of 6, some wonderful wildlife, food, drink and some of the best beaches in the land. So sit back, crack open a stubby and enjoy a little Aussie adventure. I've arrived in Melbourne, and if you haven't been, it's well worth spending some time exploring this vibrant city. As for me though, I'm ready to pick up my keys and head on out to the Yarra Valley. It's just an hour from the city and there's no need to rush, if only so you can take in the blue ranges, rolling hills and the pristine rivers that unfold before you. The Yarra Valley is the place where Victorian wine growing started, and it's now home to over 55 wineries, most of which offer cellar door tasting and sales. And whether you're a bit of a wine expert or just a novice like me, there's still a whole lot to explore. So after a wonderful morning, it's time to grab some lunch, and I've come here to Chateau Yering, a Victorian mansion built in 1854. Occupying over 250 acres and bordering the Yarra River, the property enjoys some breathtaking views of the Yarra Valley. And the interiors are pretty special as well.
When the guests drive up the driveway, they are surrounded by heritage-listed gardens full of European trees. So that gives them a bit of an idea that there's a bit of age to this property. And then when they walk through the door and see how Victorian it is, they're usually really blown away. Our high teas are superb. 2 people can book, 20 people, 30 people can book. And it's the traditional, little finger sandwiches, scones, which are obviously made here on the property, French pastries, chocolate eclairs, amazing, and served in our drawing room.
One great advantage of a self-drive holiday is that you get to try out some of the wonderful accommodation on offer. Whether travelling as a couple, a family or going solo, there's a wide range of places to stay, suiting all budgets and requirements. Yering Gorge Cottages is situated on the banks of the Yarra River in 44 hectares of nature reserve. All the cottages have panoramic views of the valley and provide a great place for relaxation. But if you're of a more active persuasion, there's something a little more outdoorsy. Now it's my chance to show the Australians what makes the Brits such an athletic nation. There are loads of bush trails for both walking and mountain biking here, and fishing rods are also available. And if you've been waiting to see kangaroos, then when dusk sets in, something magical happens. Hello there.
Generally you'll see them this time of night, Ben, right on dusk, and also very early in the morning, just after sunrise. But every morning and every night, the same 2 mobs. We're going to go and see them now. What
kind of kangaroos are they?
They're eastern grey kangaroos, Ben.
And so they're pretty big?
They can get up to about 6 foot, the larger males.
So I won't want to pick a fight with them?
No, I don't think so.
Let's go and have a look there.
Okay, no.
With all the river frontage on offer and the wildlife it attracts, you can't miss seeing the native animals and birds that live on the property. And it's not just kangaroos, wombats and even platypus occasionally make an appearance. And to top it off, you'll get to see some of the most dramatic sunsets. Now, it may be an early start, but it's well worth it, as there's no better way to see the Yarra Valley than drifting silently above it in a hot air balloon. Stable weather and breathtaking scenery make this the perfect location to experience the wonders of ballooning all year round. The views are spectacular, the air is clean and sharp, and the sense of serenity is overwhelming. Balloon flights leave just after dawn for a sunrise float over a panorama of forests, farms and corridors of vines before setting you down for a first-class breakfast at a local winery. Well, what a way to start the day, but now it's time to get back on the road. Quite apart from the wondrous sights and beautiful vistas to enjoy along the way, you'll find that driving really can be a pleasure. Australia's main roads are well maintained, traffic is very light outside of the cities, and UK drivers in particular will feel at home since Australians drive on the left. Now, your UK driving licence may be valid to get you behind the wheel of an Aussie car, but you'll need a little more training to get behind the wheel of this magnificent machine. Puffing Billy is a genuine relic of Victoria's early rail days. It's Australia's oldest and one of the finest preserved steam railways in the world.
It's a steam railway running through mountain areas, over trestle bridges, through forests with tall trees. It's fantastic. I mean, you get to hear the locomotives work the way they're supposed to work. There's the smell of the smoke and the hot oil, and the whole experience of the cinders coming down and all that sort of stuff just adds to a great day.
The vintage steam train carries passengers through the magical Dandenong Ranges from Belgrave to Lakeside Station via Menzies Creek and Emerald. You can jump on and off at your leisure, visiting many of the attractions en route, or stay on board to enjoy some fine dining. But the only thing on the menu for these guys is birdseed. Grants Park is home to hundreds of colourful native Australian birds that happily come up close to eat the free seed. Cockatoos, parrots, corellas and kookaburras have all been known to make a friendly appearance. After lunch, it's time to take a scenic drive to the start of the Australian Alps and the historic township of Walhalla.
Well, there's lots to see and do, of course. I mean, Walhalla is very picturesque, so a lot of people come into town just to take in the whole atmosphere. It's the mix of the valley with the Australian bush right on top of you, with the Wild West style of buildings, and then European trees from one end of town to the other. So it's very, very picturesque. Walhalla's recent history has been a revival of interest in history and heritage in Australia, and Walhalla is probably one of the best examples of maintained heritage we have in the country. One of the good things about going and visiting the Long Tunnel Extended gold mine now is you're actually going back and seeing the original workings. The thing about Walhalla, it's not a theme park, it hasn't been created, it's actually as it was in the 1890s and pretty much as it was walked away from in 1914.
Well, it's never easy to leave gold behind, but thankfully my next destination has got more than enough treasures of its own. A pleasant 2.5 hours drive from Walhalla takes us through Gippsland's Borbor district, down to the coast and the home of Australia's favourite parade. Phillip Island is home to the famous little penguins, where they emerge from the sea every evening at sunset and waddle to their burrows in the sand dunes.
They are the smallest penguins in the world, and they go out to sea early in the morning, and then crowds of people gather at sunset to watch them waddle across the beach from a day's fishing. And it's very funny, it's very endearing, it's just an amazing experience.
Of course, the penguins aren't the only Aussie icon on offer though. There's also the Koala Conservation Park with the treetop boardwalk for close-up viewing.
We have wetlands, we have miles of walking tracks, you can go bird watching, and just lots of the wildlife experiences that you can have anywhere on the island. You might drive past a wallaby or an echidna crossing the road. It is just an amazing place to come and visit.
The island has a stunning, rugged coastline facing Bass Strait with some spectacular vantage points along the way. The island also offers a great variety of accommodation, like this place, the stylish Silverwater Resort in San Remo. And with so much to cram in during the day, a good night's sleep will be well deserved.